Hello and welcome to the Orlando Music Podcast. I am Aaron, also known as Salt. I am joined by my co-host, Drago. And we are going to assess the Orlando music scene. We are going to talk about bands. We're going to interview bands. We're going to make fun of bands. And we are going to support our scene the best we can. Is that a good representation of our show?
Everything band related, yeah, basically. Band reviews. We can do some band help polls. You know, we can have somebody that knows or maybe has had more experience come into the show, talk a little bit about the things they did to get to wherever they are at a specific point, and maybe help bands coming up maybe do some of those things or maybe start thinking in that direction, because a lot of the times some bands don't necessarily even begin to think about those things up until somebody literally just like tells them, or they're just like, psh. So I mean, just kind of like a help thing, right?
Yeah. So, you know, I want to take this to the level of being self-help as well as being a promotion tool for us and the bands. And what I expect to happen is we will sit not only with bands, because it is the music group, we will be interviewing, I'm guessing, club owners, promoters, you know, going down that route as well, going for the full spectrum of what it takes to be in the music industry.
Yeah, pretty much just like everything music related in Orlando.
Yeah, and Central Florida for that matter. I mean, basically from Tampa to Daytona and whatever you now consider Central Florida. So,
oh yeah, I mean at that point, you know, Orlando. I guess Orlando just captures a lot of different.
We got the venues. They've got the bands. That's basically is.
Yeah. I mean, there's always bands out in other parts, but I mean, Orlando does have, you know, whenever some bands come out, they either go to like what, Tampa,
yeah,
or they go to Miami
or Jacksonville.
Yep.
You know,
I guess there's a lot of places like Orlando.
Yeah, there is, but
you know, we're trying to capture a big umbrella. You know, whatever anybody.
The center of Florida. That's okay. I'm completely okay with my mistakes, and I'm going to move on because I am a podcaster, damn it. That is what I do for a living. Florida. And if you're listening to this, we decided, like, we were going to do this podcast yesterday morning. So the preparation for this is almost nil. We're sitting in Drago's house right now.
Yep, that's where we are.
And I'm a podcaster. I'm not a musician. I don't pretend to be a musician. I don't want to live the musician lifestyle. Yes, I do. I just want to tour and talk shit as opposed to play an instrument to get to my...
It's pretty tough, man. Sometimes it does actually suck, especially when you forget your part halfway through a song, or you drop a drumstick or a guitar pick, or you break a string, or there's a lot of things that could go on stage wrong. Mm-hmm. Worst part is like you just end up
just
sorry. At least finish the song.
Yep. You know, the same goes with podcasting. You know, there's no script here. There is no. I am literally relying on the intelligence of a brain that's already broken. You know what I mean? And here we are, and this is what we're doing. Oh, by the way, I want to say thanks to all the bands who have incredibly overwhelmed me already with responses and emails, and you guys are freaking awesome.
Off the bat, man.
Right off the bat, like not even 24 hours. See, I got some other things that were going on in my life, and now I was like, hey, Drago, let's go start a fucking podcast and stuff. And oh, whoops, I'm trying to keep this G-rated, but I guess I fucked that up again. Oh well.
Yeah, anything goes at this point.
Yeah.
You know, we're all musicians. We're all, you know, into the music stuff together. So, I mean,
yeah,
it'll happen.
Yeah, half the bands we're going to talk to do more illegal substances than what we do. So,
hey, man, I mean, even my band right now, like, you know, we have a little tiny little bitty fuck.
Yeah.
But it's
also
cool.
The nature of your songs question the morality of most human beings. So
that is what we do.
Yes. So, like I said earlier, I am not a musician. I play some music. I'm actually getting into sampling. So, as soon as we talk to like some people in like the industry of like EDM, I mean, I don't want to do EDM, but I mean that's like.
Well, if there's some musicians that play EDM music, I mean, we were just listening to what were they?
Machines on Blast.
Yeah, Machines on Blast, and I think I may have met one of their band members at my last show.
You are pretty intricately frontly fucked and focused in the metal scene, you know, and I want to tell the metal scene out there, you guys have had the most ridiculous amount of responses to our podcast thus far, but we're not only going to judge metal band, expose metal bands. The punk and hardcore scene is where I come from. A lot of the bands that I listen to are doom metal, punk rock, indie, hip hop. You know, Orlando, if you're a hip hop artist, you really need to reach out to me and tell me what's going on, because
all we've gotten was metal bands and I guess like a EDM / electronic.
The response has been uncanny. I mean, they've ranged from all over the place. You know, I'm sure I'm going to get some Jack Johnson motherfucker eventually to hit me up, which, you know, that's nothing negative from what I just said, but, you know, the friends that I have in the music scene, they're all solo guitarists, you know, acoustic on Friday night at the local bar trying to make some extra bucks and shit, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I totally get it, and I can't wait to interview them. And, you know, a lot of the Tampa musicians that I know are definitely going to come out of the woodwork from what used to be the Transitions Art Gallery, which is a punk and hardcore, you know.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get everything from punk, hardcore, blues, country. I might seem a little disinterested if you're a country band, but don't worry, I'll play the part of a proper podcaster. And
hey, man, I listen to Taylor Swift. That's definitely some good shit, especially like the old stuff, old Taylor Swift.
I don't even I could seriously get down with some Miley Cyrus, you know, wrecking ball shit.
Okay.
Not really. I'm totally bullshitting.
Well, you know, there's some things, you know, I do venture out. You know, we all pop, you know, the usual, you know, Britney Spears or Barbie Girl in the car sometimes, you know, going out, you know, leaving work after like a big day, going into vacation. Next thing you know, you end up doing the white chicks in the car.
Oh, the groupie lifestyle.
Yep, like hop in.
Hop in. We're gonna do Xanax. Let's go down and drink some PBRs.
I mean, we're drinking Miller High Life right now.
Oh yeah, keeping it real.
Keeping
it fucking real.
Hey man, at least it's not Bush, man. Bush, I feel like
I almost committed to it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, you're
man.
drinking. I'm not drinking, so we're just doing whatever right now. I'm just always just a naturally fucking stupid person, so you know I'm just gonna play the part. So, anyways, yeah, we listened to some of the bands already, and we already have some critiques from what we heard, you know, but we're not at a place to have you guys be judged yet, because we just want to give you your opportunity to tell us about your band.
Yep. Might as well get it from you guys instead of us trying to figure it out here. I mean, all of the bands have that we listen to, at least, you know, they have some pretty great stuff. You know, obviously some will have better recordings than songs, and obviously some of them will also have better songs than recordings. Mm-hmm. You know, that's kind of how the territory works.
And some of them also have way more fans than they should.
Yep.
You know,
that is always the case.
You know, because I know I've got lots of fans as a white rapper, and that's not even a fucking thing.
As a white rapper?
Yeah, saltine, bitch.
Oh, shit. Really?
Yeah.
Dude, spit.
No.
Like 2 seconds.
No, I'm you thought I was joking when we did the other podcast about the mumble rap. That's what I'm getting ready. We talked about this, dude. We talked about this, like that I was going to come over to your house and give you a beat, and then I was going to start mumble rapping like Little Xan, except it's going to be all like super posy lyrics.
I think I agreed to this.
Yes, you did.
I did.
You were really, really ready to go home at that point, because we had kept you at our other podcast for like 2 hours.
Hey, man, that was a good 2 hours. Let me tell you.
Blast. Yeah, my other podcast is Salty Goodness. Also, we got Orlando Music Podcast now.
Yeah, that's how we met. Salty Goodness.
So
you hosted me on that show, and now here we are doing the Orlando Music Podcast.
Yeah. You know, as I was thinking about the name, I was like, how generic, but it works. It so works, because I was like, you're not specifying any style of music. You know, you're just like, music.
Yeah, I mean, I also
It's like
feel
the
like
stoner name, Orlando Music Podcast.
yeah, I also feel like we should kind of make it a little bit about the artist too. So like if they have some ideas of something they want on the show, that's, I mean, throw them.
Yeah, notice that we didn't have any intro music, and there was a reason why the Orlando Music Podcast didn't have any music tonight.
We should just host, your guys' music. So every time, I'm thinking maybe every time, every intro music, maybe every break or whatever, we just play a song from somebody taken out of a top hat with a bunny.
Yeah, I mean,
mouth.
yeah, definitely. Well, we did like the mass posting last night, and the responses have been uncanny.
Oh yeah,
And they have been eclectic. They are a wide range of stuff, and I can't even keep half of it together right now.
dude, I saw a lot of bands I know in there.
Yeah, no, you were telling me that before the show. You're like, man, I know that band.
I know that band. I know that band. I know
And then,
that band.
and then it was also like, hey, dude, I know that band.
I know that band.
I know that chick.
I know that one person with that face, with the eyeballs and the hair.
It was green when I met her, but now it's pinkishly weird. And I like it. Ooh, this got weird. And that's okay. It will get weird. A lot. I'm a weird guy. That's okay. That's okay. And, we've got some fun guests coming up that haven't signed on to the show yet, but will because exposure, motherfucker. Exposure. You help us, we help you. It's that butt scratching. Equals perfect butt scratching.
Have you ever seen that meme? I think one of my coworkers actually showed me this. It was hilarious, dude.
Did it have anything to do with the human centipede?
No.
Reproductive processes.
No human centipede. It was a little cloud character. It was like a little comic strip. And it was a cloud character. And he was getting hired by somebody. I guess he was like a web designer or something. And this client, he's like, oh yeah, cool. And then the guy goes to the second clip and he's like turning in the work. And then the other guy's giving him, oh, you don't need that. Why would you want to get paid? You'll just do it for the exposure. And then he hands him a little bill that says exposure right on it. So then the other guy's just like, yeah. And then he goes to the hot dog stand to try and buy a hot dog with exposure. And the fucking hot dog guy was just like, no, I don't take that.
But we do. We take that as a currency.
That is the currency.
The exchange rate will be uncanny. It'll be bigly.
Well, I guess at this point, bands can come in here. We could talk about things that benefit them, for them to be listening to it.
Exactly.
So
and your average music listener. If you go out to shows at like Will's Pub, Sound Bar, Back Booth, hell, if we get someone in here from Amway, just like them who work security at Amway, I think would be a great person to talk to. All the crazy shit that fans do, you know what I mean?
All you really need is just one of those Walmart road vests, the little orange or yellow ones. You need a hard hat, which you can also pick up at Lowe's. That right there is already like $30, right? Then you get yourself some like protection glasses, some earplugs, a notepad, maybe like one of those like passport neck things with a little badge.
Lanyard?
Yeah, a lanyard. Exactly.
One that you wear to work?
Hey man, some places are fancier than others, but
I got a sweet lanyard that's in your kitchen right now. It just says my name on it with a company. It doesn't even have a picture.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how mine is. Well, mine has a picture.
Yeah,
I have to be recognized just in case I happen to be some crazy person.
Yeah, I'm 9 numbers without a name.
That's what we all are as Americans.
Yes.
So, but anyways, yeah, we got kind of derailed.
I think that's what's going to happen because it is a podcast. We're going to ask bands cool questions like, how'd you guys get started? What's your craziest story? But then we're also going to ask you questions because I used to be an investigative journalist, and I'm going to fucking find out about all the dirty shit you did.
Dirty, dirty, dirty.
I'm not going to do that to my co-host, but he's in a band called Demon Fuck, and I'm sure there's some stories behind that.
Actually,
It's not your turn, sir.
Oh man. Okay.
I want your full fucking band in here too.
Oh man.
You are not the